Good evening, all, and welcome to another episode of Crossroads. Um, we're supposed to have Angela Johnson on tonight. So we're just waiting for Angela to come on. And lovely person. I love her music, and hopefully she'll be on in a minute. Don't forget, guys, got any messages or anything? Please put them in your right hand column, and we will get to you. Okay, and good evening, everybody. Good evening. My first one today, actually. I had one cancelled. I don't know if I've got any tomorrow. Um, I haven't. I don't know about that. But anyway, thank you for watching, and yeah, and thank you for still supporting me. So we're just waiting now, and hopefully she'll be coming along. Good evening.
How are you doing?
You know what it is? You always got to wait for the lady, ain't you?
I always have what?
You always got to wait for the lady, ain't you? You always
Oh,
got to
wait.
wait for. Yeah, you always got to wait for the lady. It's like married life, you know.
You're funny.
Of course I am. Of course I am.
Thank you. How are you doing? And happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday to you. I've got some ulcers at the moment, which is really sore in my mouth,
Oh,
and they're really sore. So I apologise if.
so I'll do all the talking.
Well, um, I was hoping if you could play some tunes for us tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you have your cup of tea there, or what you got in there.
You know what? I'm drinking. I warmed up a coffee. We were out. We just got back. This is Hard Rock Cafe cup.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. I could take my phone into the other room and Frank can hold my phone for me. Yeah, we can do that. Absolutely. I could mix in all kinds of stuff if you like. We can do a whole
Brilliant.
mix of stuff.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. You're a savior. You
You
know
want me to? Sorry, go ahead.
you know that I love having you on, and I'm telling you, you're a savior.
Oh, thank you. I love being on. It's wonderful. Thank you so much. Hey, it's wonderful to share music, friendship, and just, we're connected from all over the world. Look how far away we are from each other, but we're in the same room right now.
I know.
Yeah.
Me, you, and Frank. Hey, it's
And
lovely.
the younger generation that has never seen the world that we had before we had the internet like this, they don't realize how smaller the world was. We didn't have virtual friends. we
I know.
we had pen pals, right? We'd write letters, and I'm going to move my phone into the room here while we're chatting here. Yeah, we had pen pals and all that kind of crazy stuff. So now, boy, oh boy, you can talk to everybody, and you don't even realize how fast business can move as compared to the way it was before. So my fiance Frank Caruso is going to come down and help hold the phone. Franco, could you please help me with the phone? I'm at my piano, so I'm going to show this to those who don't know what it looks like. Here, this is
Here
my
you
little
go.
music
Yeah.
C3. All my recording equipment, which is wonderful during this pandemic. It's been great to be able to experience music, even just for me. I kind of feeling for the musicians that didn't get a chance to get their instruments together. Okay, so when we're ready to go, Frank is coming down here. I'll unplug my earbuds and I'll go right into my mic. Let's just test this out here because it'll probably feed back. He's just getting ready to come down.
Do not worry. Do not
Test
worry.
1 2 1 2. Hey.
Do not worry about it.
No problem. I
We're
think
just wait.
I'll also grab another light here just so that I'm not so dark for you. Give
Have
me
you
2
been
seconds.
busy?
Well, we ran out. Yes, yes. Actually, I did a show last night. Actually, we have been busy. That's the interesting thing during all of the lockdown that we have. We were both very, very busy. Here he comes. Thank you very. I'm doing it right now. I'm going to get you to hold my phone. My fiance's here. So yeah, we both, because we're in the arts, we have a lot of things that we can also do on our own. You want to do that for me? Thank you. Yeah. Say hello, Frank.
Hey, how are you doing?
Frank Caruso.
Oh, yes, Frank.
Good to see you.
You're right. I like Frank.
Yeah.
I love him to bits, Frank. He's all right. He's a good man.
Yeah. You hear all that, Frank?
All we got to do now is get you married off, Angela.
I know. We're going to.
Hey, there you go.
Thank you very much. That's perfect.
Okay,
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to give you the phone, Frank. I'm going to do some music. You're going to hold.
Okay.
I just want to do a little sound check.
Gotta
We'll go
do it
straight into
reverse.
music. Oh, I'm sorry. How do you do
Reverse
that?
it.
Camera. How do you reverse it? I don't know how to do that. I don't think I can. One
Sure you
second.
can.
No, I just shut it off. No, you can't. This is you have to go this way. You have to
Are
look.
you sure?
Oh yeah, I'm positive. This is not the same thing. We're not using my, yeah. Yeah, you got it. I hope you
Okay.
don't mind. I want to do a little sound check here. This is a spontaneous
Yeah,
moment.
you carry on. You carry on.
So
I
you can
can't.
see
I
me.
can't.
Looking good.
Okay, it's really awkward.
Yeah. So I just want to
Where are
talk to
you?
everyone for a second. Here
Oh,
I
there
am.
you are. Okay.
So what I'm going to
Okay.
do is a quick sound check here. I like the spontaneity of being able to go to music. You know, we just came in here, I turned everything on. I wasn't sure if I was playing or singing tonight, but hey, I'm going to give you a cover tune first. Can we do that?
Yeah, you carry on. All
Okay.
yours.
Okay.
That light is really, really bright. Can you tone it down a bit? Tone it down. Okay. That's better. Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Elton John. Gotta love Elton John. I want to make sure this is turned up high enough to hear him. There we go. We're right. Baby's gone like a deep blue sea on a blue, blue day. Baby's gone. Morning comes coming far away, and I sing the words holding back the tears, holding back baby's got blue eyes, and she's alone again. Blue eyes, baby's gone. Like a clear blue sky, watching over me. Eyes of love.
Baby's got blue eyes, and she's alone again.
Well done.
Thank you.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that one of Elton John's most beautiful songs? I just love him. You
Beautiful,
like
beautiful.
music, not sing it, and just do the melodies and get away with it. I think I'm going to play for you an instrumental of one of my original songs. How does that sound?
Brilliant. You carry on.
Okay.
We love listening to you.
Oh, thank you very much. For anyone who doesn't know my music, I'm going to show you a picture of what these are, these CDs, so that you know you can go on my website and hear them. You can also stream them if you want to.
Yeah,
You
and
can,
tell everybody your website.
it's not coming up backwards. Okay, so here it is, angelicasmusic.com. You go in there, I let you hear everything. So what I'm going to play is coming from this CD right here. It's a double CD. I'll give you my spy music.
Ooh.
Oh, well done.
Oh, thank you very, very much. Steve, do you want to pick a song?
Yeah, I tell you what, have you got anything from Whitney Houston at all?
Oh my goodness, I
Somebody
do.
just asked me for it. Hi Steve, can you ask Angela for Whitney Houston, please?
Absolutely. Oh boy. I'm gonna have a drink of my coffee if I'm gonna take on a heavy hitter singer like that. Holy cow. Okay. Okay. Gotta sweat this one out. You are singing it with me. If you're there on that end listening, you gotta sing too.
Oh, I can't sing. I can't sing.
Okay. Well, I've only sung one song, so I'm kind of doing this not warmed up, but we're going to go for it anyway. Let's do it. Thank you, Frank. Would you like me to get you the stick? Would it be easier for you? Would you like
Well,
this?
no, because
Okay.
it's going to be really awkward to. It's fine.
I believe the children of future, teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty possess inside. Give them a sense of love to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us all we used to be. Everybody's such a people need somebody to look. Never found anyone to fulfill my needs. My lonely place to go. So I learned to depend on you. Like a sign along the wall, never to run in anyone's shadow. If I felt twice as you used to live, that's my dream. Take my name, take away my dignity. Across the rails, all is happening to me. You're all inside of me. I believe the children of future, teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty that possess inside. Give them a sense of love to make the world. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. I decided all along never to run in anyone's shadow. If I felt that blessings here, standing as I believe, no matter what they take from me, they take away my dignity. Because the greatest all alone is happening to me. I'm not afraid. All
Wow.
Thank you. I had to drop it until I get warmed up. I took it down a step. I was like, oh, I'm not warmed up to be hitting her notes. But I do hear a few of her songs. Boy, that lady can sing. She has a 5-octave range. I've She's wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Stay,
That was so difficult.
a
Wasn't
couple
it?
more. I should be warmed up to do some really high stuff.
My range is 1.25.
I'm actually surprised I got most of that in that first few. I was like, yeah, I can't do it. You got to warm up your voice when you sing. You guys get to hear me right cold. We just walked in the door. And I turned on my lights thinking I may or may not sing tonight, but either way, I don't know. So I turned them on and
I will warn you in future.
oh no, it's okay. Would you
Yeah.
like to pick another one?
Yeah, I've got
Like-
I've got Wendy here, and she said, "Can you play any gospel song, please?"
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
I have Amazing Grace. I have How Great Thou Art. I have
How great thou art, she said.
You Got It.
Please. Is Frank all right holding the phone now?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, Frank.
Hey, Italy versus England. When's that game, or is it over?
No, it's on tomorrow night, Frank.
Tomorrow night. I guess I know who you're cheering for.
Oh, Frank.
I don't
Yes,
care who. You know what? I don't care who wins as long as it's a good game.
England.
Oh, my God, and I am awesome wonder, consider all the worlds that have made. I see the stars, I hear thunder, the power throughout universe displayed. they're singing sweet between. When I look down the lofty mountain grandeur and hear the roar and the gentle breeze, that sings my soul, my Savior Lord to thee. I'll bring it over. That sings my soul, my Savior Lord to thee. How great thou art, how bright thou art.
Wow.
Sounds like a whole orchestra.
I'm gonna give you some classical piano. There's actually get one more verse on that, but I thought I would throw some piano solo in there instead. I believe you should make a song your own. You know, the recording artist did it, the writer did it. I think I froze. Am I still?
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you what, I've got a question here for you. What's it like to play on the cruise ships, especially when the ship is rocking from pillar to post?
Is my picture still moving for you? Are we good?
Yeah, everything's all right.
Okay, I'm freezing looking at me here. I'm just gonna try and pull you back.
I can turn the heat on.
No. Frank, I just want to see if I can pull you up. I may or may not be able to pull you up, but that's fine. I'll just look at my frozen picture and answer you. What's it like to work in the cruise ship? Or what's
Yeah,
it like to live on it?
Yeah,
Thank
on
you.
the cruise ships. Yeah.
Honestly, it's like a big family of people because you have about a minimum around about 1,100 crew members. And I'm hoping I'm in the picture here. I think this
Yeah,
might.
you are. You're okay. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why it's frozen on this end. So what happens is that you're eating together, you're living together. If you have roommates, you're sleeping together basically in your own beds. But I was lucky I had my own room because of the position that I had. But I can tell you that my very first cruise ship, I did have a roommate for a few weeks because they didn't have enough cabins. They weren't expecting me. Apparently, they didn't notify the ship that I was coming. And my agent knew about it, the company knew about it, but the actual ship didn't know I was heading to the job, to my contract. So they basically didn't have enough beds. And for my very first couple of weeks, I was in a casino cabin because they didn't have the room. And then they had some flying acts. So I had to have a roommate for a bit because the flying acts were male. Then I got my own room. But what I found is we're like family because you're doing training regarding the Coast Guard, because when you're at sea, you're under the Coast Guard rules, right? So you have to be trained to be at sea and to help all the guests and yourself if there's an emergency. So you're doing that, you're working together, you're eating together. There's a staff mess, there's a crew mess, there's an officer mess. You can eat when you're staff. I was staff. You can eat with the guests as well up on Lido deck. So you just have a lot of interaction, not just with your job, but because of how you live your day-to-day life. You're living in a ship, you naturally start turning into a cruise family, you know. So here's the interesting thing. If you've only had the luxury of working on one ship, then you didn't get the chance to see what it's like when you go to another ship and then you run into people you used to work with and they show up, or you miss people and then you're kind of chatting back and forth. You see them in the port. You become very familiar with people. So I'm just kind of giving the personal side of an employee with a cruise line. That's the first side. Because you're living arrangement, everybody's together so much. So you kind of adopt a cruise family, right? Then there's the guests, which is a lot of fun. If you're very sociable, which I am,
you will find that you make a lot of friendships. When I do the nights here on Facebook Live, quite a few people who come on knew me from the cruise ships, and I've made friends from cruise ships. So there's another family for you, right? I find that if you really enjoy people, if you like to socialize, if you like to perform for people, a cruise ship is a good place to go. Hotels, resorts, those are great too. But when you're in a cruise ship, once you're in there and you leave port, you're not going anywhere. You are stuck in the ship. You just sort of, I think people kind of let their hair down a little bit more, where they become a little bit more relaxed. It's not like you're going to go in your car after you've been in a pub or in a bar and then go back home and go to your life. You actually go to your room, right? You look for things to do. You become very sensitized to your environment because you can't get out of it. So I think people become a little bit different in a cruise ship, and kind of get to know them a little bit, because they work very hard to get there. You got to fly there, got to pack your bags, got to leave your notice, and the same thing goes for guests. So you're getting into a different situation. You're hitting all the protocols. You get to go on excursions. I worked my very first cruise ship with over 98 nationalities on our ship.
God.
And so sometimes when it came the birthday for their country, they would go into the mess and they'd cook meals from their country. So you'd be invited to a party, they'd dress up. Sometimes they gave dances. Some were in Indonesia or Bali. And if you've ever had Indonesian food or food from Bali, and you got to see some of their sacred moments and the things that they like to do for their country, you learn a lot about them. It's not like pulling out a textbook or watching a documentary. You're actually eating food and you're talking with people. Some people
When you
they
were
like.
at sea, did you have any airy moments where, like, the boat was rocking really bad?
Well, there's stairs, right? I used to run the stairs all the time. I did that. We had a gym, but I would always run stairs. So I'd go several floors up and down them every day. And I was cruising it like pretty fast. So at the end of the night, rather than taking an elevator, unless I had a lot of weight to carry, I'd do the stairs. So here we are, we're in a hurricane. I'm doing the stairs, I'm going down the stairs, and halfway down the stairs, I'm going up the stairs again, because we're running this wave. And the next thing I know, we crash down real hard, and there's a shutter in the ship, and my bag goes flying, and I literally run the stairs in the air, so I don't wipe out. So there was these moments where you're feeling like you're a pinball machine, moving around back and forth down the hallways. I didn't get seasick. I was very fortunate not to on a cruise ship. I was cured of that on my father's sailboat. But there were many, many people do. I remember one of the hurricanes we were in, I had a packed piano bar, and I loved it when I had a packed piano bar, but this was unusually packed. You couldn't get in anymore. And I was like, wow, what's going on out there? And I found out that pretty much our entire department was sick. So all the musicians weren't working in their lounges, but I was fine. And there were quite a few people not around. You saw doggy bags in the stairwells for any of the guests. So it was a bit of a ghost town at times, but the bar was packed. We're singing along. I'm flying all over the place at the piano while I'm playing. But, I grew up sailing with my dad. So you can put me in any kind of storms and I don't get affected by it. Many people do. So that was a really fun night. I was chatting with somebody down on Lido deck, and I guess we were one of the only people around out in the night, because I just didn't feel it. But you realize that when you're playing music, you're singing and you're moving around, you're having to also be looking at an object all the time, whether it's your music or keeping track of what you're doing on the stage. So it's not the same as if you're just sitting there. I can understand why some of them would have gotten sick, but it was a lot of fun. I've actually been in some of the storms where we literally broke the piece that held the keel on the ship, and we had to get towed into Hawaii. See, these ships, they can spin around on a dime, literally 360 degrees, right? They have the thrusters, so they can use the thrusters to literally stay in one spot and spin. But if you don't have a keel, what are you going to do? So we were towed in, and they had to hire people to fix them. I've seen the tail end of the ships come right up out of the air. I know it was one time the entire gift shop turned over with the glass, breaking everything. They had to shut it down for 48 hours. And because what do? You're at the sea. You're at the sea. They fix everything, but you're at the mercy of the weather. So hopefully that doesn't really happen. And you're very safe too. You got to realize that even if you have the boats that people can go into, you also have a life raft, and there's over capacity of them. So even if the ship went down, if anybody was scared of that, these things, they have this little electrostatic release where there's a blade that turns with the physics of the depth of the water. It cuts this painter line, which
Mm.
ends up inflating a raft. So even if you were not, if a ship went down, let's say, all these rafts would start popping up everywhere that would actually hold the capacity of the entire ship, whether you got in a boat or not. So they're very, very safe. So even I've been in some pretty serious hurricanes where things were broken. All of the portals were closed. We couldn't go into a port. It was too choppy to actually get into a port. And we were all fine. I've seen videos where grand pianos are flying around. I don't know if you've seen some of those online, but I did 8.5 years on ships, 101 months at sea. It was Disney, Carnival, Holland America. Everybody's very, very well trained. You know, they're just, these are electric ships, right?
What's the best ship that you ever played on?
Say that again.
What's the best ship that you ever played on?
I'm hearing something in the background. I'm not sure what that is. Is that you or Frank? Can you turn that off? Best ship that I ever played on. Ooh, okay. So you're dealing with 3 different companies that are completely different. I don't think there was a best ship, because my experience with people is oftentimes the performing in the moment of the people that I meet. Sometimes it's that you have the best staff that you're with and crew members, and you're just buddy with everybody, and you have reunions with people. So it makes it the best ship for you in that time, because everything is right. Your personal life, your friendships, everything is running great. The cruises are great. Then I go to another ship, and then you might find, well, you know, I'm busy every single night and I'm loving my playing, but I don't know anybody here in the staff and the crew. So I'm learning new friendships. So I guess it's really about your personal experience with it, because I think with your job, it's very personal. When you're a musician, you can be as professional as you want to be, but you're there also for personal reasons. You love music, you love to express music, you love to share it, and then you make relationships with people, you make friendships with people while you're performing. Everything you're doing is very personal anyway. So I think a favorite ship really would kind of depend on all the circumstances. I can't answer that really. I liked every ship that I was on. I would find where each one of them was different. Sometimes I found, you know, when I was in Disney, I did the Disney Magic, and it was completely different. There's no gambling, there's no casinos, everything closes at midnight. But the thing is I got to float around. So by that, I was in the piano bar, I was in the atrium. If there was a wedding, the technicians would grab the keyboard and technical equipment and throw me on the beach. I think it was Castaway Cay, Disney's personal island. So here I am literally in the beach playing a wedding, and then I'm on the back of the ship playing a wedding, and then I'm playing a captain's party, and then I'm in the atrium, and then I'm in the piano bar, and then I'm doing a Valentine's production show with all the production singers in the club. And I'm like, wow, I got to run around. So, but yet on Carnival, I was also, even though I wasn't the cocktail pianist, I was a piano bar. I got to do a lot of cocktail music and their tea time, and I got to do private events, and I got to move around. And sometimes I was out on Lido deck, going right across the whole ship. Then yet, even on Holland America, you still did the captain's parties. You didn't get a day off on Holland America. So for me to pick a favorite ship, as I'm explaining to you, there's all these perks on each one of them that you got to move around and experience different rooms and different scenarios with your music, different people that you were meeting. Honestly, I think it's kind of the entire journey, because there was no real favorite. I would be on a run for a long time. Sometimes I did 18 months on my first ship, and I left for 3 days. I did on my second ship 14 months. Another ship I did 16 months. On the 14-month one straight, I took 5 days off. On the 16-month, I took 7 days off. My very first ship, I saw 56 port of calls, and that was the Carnival Jubilee. We were in the Mexican Riviera. The next thing I know, we went to Hawaii, Alaska, Hawaii. We repositioned around, went out of Miami after going through the Panama Canal, and we were alternating 3 different cruises. 2 10-day and 111 to the Caribbean, you name it. So I was very fortunate. So if you were to say, would your favorite ship be according to port of calls, I would have picked that ship. But the problem is, pick a favorite ship, you're getting into personal life, you're getting into working, seeing all of the guests and the run, and then your ports, and of course, how you feel when you get there too, right? So I was on one ship out of Puerto Rico for 16 months, and every single day we had a port. And what can happen is that I love to scuba dive, and I ended up getting my dive instructor with all this diving I did in the ports. I could see all these places. But the thing is in the night, when you hit a ship that hits a port every single day, the guests have been out all day long, so their energy level might not be as high in the night. So when you're performing, some people might have packed it in early, or they had so much sun and they drank so many pina coladas that that's it. So you might find that area where the room is a little bit lighter than you're accustomed to. All the production shows are wonderful. All the shows Disney are wonderful. The shows they do on Holland America. I mean, there's a lot of entertainment that's come out from all over the world. People have to work to be there. They audition to be there. You meet some real world-class performers, from dancers to singers to you name it. So we get treated all the time. We get the experience of some of the musicians I perform with had performed with some major stars. They toured with, and now they were working on a cruise ship. And
Can you name a few?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Can you name a few stars that you've worked with?
Stars that they worked with. Well, I worked with one of the people that was on Promenade. He was touring around with Reba McEntire for a while, you know. And see, these are musicians that were in the bands.
All right.
So it really, really depends. As far as the stars, I can't say that I worked with them on a ship. They came on the ship. Some of the people that came on the ship, my very first ship as a guest in my piano bar, Meatloaf came on. And I'm
Really?
looking at him and I'm thinking, oh, it can't be. This is Meatloaf. No, that looks just like him. That can't be him. No. So I was trying to engage him into anything. You know, I asked for songs from people. You want to make people feel relaxed, because for someone just to walk up to a musician and break the ice and ask for a song, it's not always easy for people. They can be very, very shy. And as a performer, you don't want to be shy, because that's not a really, really good combination to go with performing and trying to draw people. You want to break that ice with people. So I was trying to dialogue with him. It wasn't working. He wasn't responding to me. And I was like, uh-oh, I don't think he likes me. You know, complete no expression on his face, sunglasses. He was wearing a black leather jacket, and he was in the back of the room. Of course, piano bar is not that big, but big enough. And we were quiet. There was a show happening, so a lot of people cleared out for it, because you only got 2 shows in the night, and that was it. And so during that time, everybody wanted to go and catch the production show for 45 minutes, and then they all come back. So what ended up happening is I'm tried to get any kind of response out of him, work with him. And I thought, well, okay, I'll just keep performing, and at any time, you know, maybe he'll want a song or something. I thought, this guy really doesn't like me. But I swear to God, that's Meatloaf. What's he do? He gets up, he walks, sits down right beside me on my left, leans into me. I could hear his leather, and he goes, "You're good." I'll tell you, I was very elated, first off, because I got a huge compliment, but I didn't know what he was going to do, because I really didn't think he liked me. And I thought, boy, did you ever read that wrong? And somebody who knew him said, you know, he's kind of like that. He just goes kind of expressionless and doesn't say anything. But yeah, that was like 1997, 1998, somewhere in there. But I thought, wow. And I was like, that couldn't have been Meatloaf. And I go, yeah, no, that was definitely Meatloaf. Meatloaf's on the ship. And I was like, who's my piano bar? I thought he hated me, but he didn't. And boy, oh boy, what an uncomfortable moment that was. So here I am, I perform Meatloaf, right? And very, very talented. If you're not familiar with his music, have a listen. Someone else, the lead singer for Performer was in my piano bar, or not Performer, for, Foreigner was in my piano bar, kind of on the side of me. You know, in a piano bar, you have a little bit of a ring of a counter that goes around the piano, and they put these fake keys all around it so you could play them. They won't play, and you're on stools, so you're stuck around the piano. So he was sitting there, and we're just having a chat, and he was so humble. He goes, yeah, I used to sing. And I said, I'm not going to bust you out. I know who you are, but you're more than I used to sing. You're a wonderful singer, Foreigner. So he was in the ship. I'm kind of listing him here. Gloria Gaynor was on my very first cruise ship. She came on. We had an RSVP cruise, which was, it was a gay cruise. Nobody could get in the ship unless you booked it. They even paid for their own security. They brought in their own entertainment. So you had Richard Simmons was in there, Gloria Gaynor. They brought in some talent scouts that picked the entertainment, and everybody else they didn't pick got an entire week off, 7 days off with pay. But they picked 2 people. I was one of them. And the strolling guitar player, Jimmy, he was one of them. And I got to do their cabaret show and their talent show. And piano bar is it, right? So that was a lot of fun. So I asked 2 production singers to come and do the cabaret show with me, and it was wonderful. I was able to get Wendy Gold and Jason French, and wonderful singers. So yeah, that was wonderful. And then who else did I have on the ship? Some other people here. I have to think about it. Stars. Well, see, Carnival Cruise Lines ended up taking some of their ships, and they would bring on people like Gifts came on. And they did the Destiny, which has now been renamed. Jewel has been on. I believe what are they called? I think Leonard Skinner did a ship. I think Alan Parsons did a ship. I'm pretty sure that it was not, those 2 were not Carnival. Was it the Backstreet Boys? I think the Backstreet Boys did one. Styx, Kenny Loggins. A cruise ship is like a little city, right? You're getting about 5,000 people there. Y'all pull in, all these cruise ships pull in. You get maybe 5 at a time or 6 at a time. You see come in and drop anchor in Grand Cayman. All these people are tendering into Grand Cayman. So look at that. You got 25,000 people, with the exception of a number of crew members that stay behind on the ship, all going into town at one time. You have these major docks, Cozumel in Mexico. You get about 5 or 6 ships will come in. All of them are shopping at the same time. They're all doing excursions. So you just have the whole place wakes up. And you see, when you're a crew member, you can go on the other ship. So if you have friends on another ship and you're in port, you can show up, walk on with your ID, take a tour around, have lunch in their dining room, and then go back off on your ship. Yeah, that's fun. And then you meet in these places. I know in Nassau, 5 or 6 ships would come in there. And so you find you get to know people. If you do multiple ships as an entertainer or a crew member, you really start to meet a lot of people. I have a friend who also did cruise ships. He still does them, and he just lives a few blocks down. We've known each other for 10 years. We're in the same position, and he's going to go back shortly. I'm just trying to think of more stars here. If I can think of some names, I will tell you. So I'm just sort of transitioning on in here into the life of a cruise ship to give you a little more information. There's a lot of food, all you can eat. You can eat the pizzeria, you can eat all day long. On some ships, you have a steakhouse, which is 5, 6 star. You can also, if you want Greece, you can get that. You want Chinese food, pasta.
So you can get everything free.
I'm sorry?
Everything is free of charge.
Well, it depends. I would get it free. The steakhouse crew members, there would be a fee, and you could book it. But that's on Carnival. On Disney, I could get room service if I wanted to. I always tipped for things. I don't even know if you were allowed to, but I do because I'm a tipper. There was a seamstress on our ship, and I found out what she made every month. And I like to collect clothing that's quite old, vintage clothing. If it's a really cool dress, I have a star dress. I have a few long, beautiful gowns, and one from the 1940s. It was an actual Stars dress. And the lady that sold it in Texas, I bought it from the store she sold it to, and she was an actress who got it from the Star. And okay, long story. I would get my clothing fitted properly with a seamstress on the ship, and I'd always pay her a really wonderful tip because she had to do it for free. So I figured, well, I know you're not allowed to charge me because you can't make business, but if I want to, tip you just for doing something, I will. So I gave her beyond what would have been her fee when I realized that they didn't make a lot. Because you realize that when you're working on a cruise ship, you're kind of paid to the scale of the country that you came from. So in my position, I was treated very well. I was paid very, very, very well. Carnival Cruise Lines treated me very well. Disney treated me very well. Holland America treated me very well. If you're a musician and you've never worked on a cruise ship, I recommend you do. I was lucky I had my own room, so I didn't run into having the space issue with roommates so close to you. And I can imagine what that's like for people. I can't see me, so I'm not sure if my lens is directly on me clear. But
You're okay.
I recommend you just get the experience for the people. I mean, you're going to love to do your music. You're a dancer. You love dancing. But just to meet people from all over the world, boy, oh boy, I could get into a van. We'd hit Miami. We all get into a van and we get pulled out of the port to go downtown. Everyone picks up their cell phone and they're calling family instantly, or the friends, or the boyfriend, girlfriend, or something. And there are 6 conversations going on in different languages at one time in the vehicle. You look around or an elevator or something, same thing. And you just become very sensitized to the issue that you are mixed in with the entire world on a ship. There was one cruise ship I was the only Canadian on. There was one there were 3 of us, there were 7 of us, maybe there were 14. But for the most part, there were only a few Canadians on most of the ships that I was on, and one, there was only one. I looked around, I was like, wow, this is it. Showed up, put my flag in my room. Right, I literally do, I put a little flag in my room. And I made some really good friendships, and they're all online now because, of course, we're all over the world. And some are no longer doing cruise ships, and the ship life is not like anything else you would know. I did hotels for years. I did corporate gigs with agents. I did resorts. I did bars. I did golf clubs. I was in a studio for 4.5 years, recording studio. I've done things on stage. I've done union rooms.
Yeah, yeah.
But I can tell you
We'll
this
talk
much.
about
cruise ship-
your stage. We'll talk about your stage life
Okay.
later on. I just want to know about your cruise ships. You know,
Oh, absolutely.
because
But
your cruise
that's the
ship.
thing. Cruise
Sorry?
ships are completely different.
Yeah, of course they are. Yeah. Would it be possible we can play a last song for us?
I can play a last song for you. Absolutely.
Okay,
Frank,
thank
can
you.
you hold my phone for me again, please? Thank you so much.
Oh, he's nice, isn't he?
I know.
Oh,
You know what? He does this for me every time I have a show. He's my MC. He'll grab the camera. He actually has some really beautiful handheld ones. I will be going to, you might have noticed my piano's tuned. I don't know if you noticed that. I will be going to my webcams and going off my board very shortly. So it'll be really clean. And I'll likely, if we have another interview, if we do that again, we'll go off a computer. And so the sound will be really, really good.
oh, I've got loads to ask you yet. Loads.
I'm not ready to do that yet because I'm still hooking up some iOS technology hardware to the computer to go through OBS.
Yeah, yeah.
With I have 3 of these, little cameras. So there'll be different angles, which is wonderful. Okay, people are texting me, getting another text. So Frank is going to hold the phone. We'll do one more song. So cruise ship life. Besides the beautiful protocols, many of the guests who love to come are coming for the people to get to meet and their experiences. And a lot of people, I'll just say one last thing before we do the song. One thing I did notice is that everything is about relationships. You can go and check out all the land you want. But when it comes down to the people and the culture and the experiences that you have with people, that makes the best ship. So that's why they mix together. And that's why guests like to come back to your ship. If they had a good experience with you, they're likely going to come back on your cruise ship. And I would find that. One girl, she came 12 times to the same ship that I was on, moved around. Others would want to find out because they love the experience. And then they make friends with other people. And it's like, oh, I want to go on a cruise ship because the people makes it so much fun. So that's kind of what you're getting when you go to a cruise ship. Okay, Frank is going to take the phone here while I do another song. Does it
Okay.
matter what I sing? Are you okay with what I
No,
do?
you're okay. Just sing us the last song. Thanks, Frank.
Okay.
You're frozen there, so I can't
Yeah, it's okay. This
this is
is probably on me right there. Yeah, that's on me.
Are we?
Yeah, we're okay.
We're okay there.
Yeah, we're okay.
Okay, because she's frozen in
Yeah,
time.
I've been rattling away. I've done this song before, but it's been a while since I've done it. So I'm going to
Okay.
do it. It's the one I wrote for my father. It's a long goodbye. He liked to sail. I wrote this for him. I'm on my way. I'm safe. Wind blows through me, the ocean breeze keeps my spirit free. It carries me peacefully on my journey. I stand tonight.
souls and birds. It wakes me, inspires me like that. Until I'm goodbye to the other side. Butterfly is holding on, stay way up high. And maybe you're alive. It's a long goodbye to the end of time. Sweet melody sings to me. Cellos play a rhapsody, and nothing's to sleep. To play my memory, stars surround me in beauty, never ending. Keep me in your dreams. But till my mind, my soul's in love. Watch me and stars make me fly. Until I'm goodbye, the other side. Like the butterfly, stay alive. And never yet, it's a long goodbye, the end of time.
Well done. Beautiful song.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining us.
You are very welcome.
And, love to Frank.
Love to you, Frank.
Hey, big hugs.
Thank you, Frank. Sorry, we can't see ourselves because my screen is frozen.
All right, okay.
I'm
Angela,
staring at myself from like 24 minutes in, 24, 23 in. I see me, I don't see you at all. So I'm
all
hoping
right.
I'm looking into the camera, okay, and I'm not cut off anywhere there.
No, you're not. You cut off now.
Thank
Angela, thank you so much for joining us. We
You
love
are
the
very welcome.
music.
Thank
And
you.
we'll see you very soon. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
have a wonderful evening. Thank you. Bye,
Yes,
everyone.
and good luck to England at the weekend.
Oh, yeah. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy.
Yeah, don't support Italy, will you?
Thank you very much.
Don't support Italy.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Frank, don't support Italy, right, on the game, right? England, right? So you're cheering for England, not Italy, right? Yeah. He's laughing.
All right,
No,
Angela.
Frank's the best. He's so diplomatic.
Bye-bye, Angela.
Bye-bye. Have a wonderful evening.
And you,
Bye.
bye-bye.